All right, so you can't scale because you hire broke clients. I have made this mistake time and time again, and this is something that I have recently stopped doing. In fact, I've started kicking people out of my sales funnel faster because I don't even want to have a conversation with somebody who's not going to be qualified to work with me. I'll tell you a quick story. When this was probably like 2, 3 years ago, I'd hired this guy and we started working together. He was like very finicky on the price. I was kind of just trying to like ego close, right? I was just like, okay, fuck it, I'll take the close because I was just closing a bunch of people and I wasn't really too concerned about the money. So I was like, screw it, I'll just hire the guy. He wants a discount, whatever. I'll give him a discount. He said he had like poor experiences with his previous agency. I was like, all right, you know what, whatever. I'll give this guy like a discount. It wasn't even much. It was like $500. Um, got him to sign on. He tripped about the terms of service, like the agreement that I had for like a week. It took us, we had to like keep making a new agreement. At some point, I was literally about to say, like, fuck this. Like, I don't even want to work with the guy. He kept trying to make changes to the agreement. And this is an agreement that's like 1 page long and it's like 20 font. So, like, there's not a lot written on this agreement. And he kept just wanting to make little changes to make sure that, like, he felt better about the service. So we started working together and like not even a month into the service, he's already bitching about like every single day about like lead quality and the leads coming in and all that stuff. Now, I've improved since I worked with this guy like significantly. Like my service is way better. But regardless, even back then it was like, yo, it's only been like 2 weeks, right? And I mean, the guy wasn't even in our onboarding call. He wasn't even there. So like when we had our strategy conversation about how we were gonna like target these people, the guy was like on a trip. I had to talk to his office manager who had no clue what she was doing. And it just made out for a really, really bad time. And ultimately, we ended up stop working together. And he didn't get the results, and I really didn't get paid. And it was really, really unfortunate. And the problem was he was scared to spend money on ads. He was scared to put more money down on the advertising. Um, he didn't want to have the conversations that were required to make it work. And he was more concerned about trying to save a penny instead of doing the work properly. I run an ad agency. There's no saving pennies with ad agencies. Okay, you can like you can go hire someone for like $500 a month and spend $10 a day on advertising, but I'm going to be honest with you, that's probably not going to get you anywhere. And actually, it's not probably; it won't get you anywhere because advertising is expensive. It's getting more expensive, and it's going to take you a significantly longer time to scale with a lower ad budget, right? This is what happens when you hire broke clients. Now, if we're going into the other side of this, if you're a contractor or if you're doing like any form of service, you hire a client. What do the poor people do? They always want discounts. They always are trying to save a dollar here and there. They always want to try and change things mid project, right? They want to hover over your shoulder and make sure you're doing things right because to them it's a lot of money. You want to work with someone who, like, when you tell them, hey, this is going to cost you 20 grand, they say, okay, whatever. Where do I sign? You want to work with someone when you say, hey, you need to fully gut and remodel your bathroom because there's mold in here and you need to make this like it's not a like, oh, it's nice to have you need to change this out. It's going to cost you 50 grand. They say, okay. They're not trying to finance it. They're not trying to, oh, let me go talk to a bunch of other people and then they're going to go hire some random guy off the street to come fix it for less money. In my apartment, my shower has mold in it, and I had my the maintenance team came over here, and they looked at it. There's like a lot of mold, and the maintenance team looked at it and goes, "Oh, we just need to recaulk it." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, no, you don't. You need to pull it out and fucking put it in a new shower. Is what you need to do. Recaulk it is crazy, but these guys will go hire someone that will just recaulk their shower, and then they're like, oh, sorry, I can't work with you. And the problem is if you're running ads to these people, you're wasting a bunch of money on ads or you're just wasting time. You're driving around to all these inspections and estimates and these people aren't even buying. It's crazy. And so I'm just going to give you like a couple tips really quickly on how to ensure that you hire better clients. First thing that you're going to want to do is actually target the right people with your offer. So If you don't know what an offer is essentially like your statement of like what the person is going to get for working with you, right? And there has to be value that exceeds the price, right? So you need to be able to deliver them enough value to where the price is like not even that serious. Um, and so what this might look like is, for example, this new offer that I've been testing. I'm getting people 5 to 8 fully gutted bathroom remodeling jobs in the next 4 months, or we work for free, right? So 6 to 8 jobs, we're talking about like $40,000 jobs. Six of those, that's quick math, 240,000 dollars. It's $250,000. That's a lot of money to make off of in a 4 month period for someone who's never done that before. That's a lot, right? For my price structure, my pricing is not anywhere near how much they're going to be making off of that. And so it makes sense, right? I wanted to do something that makes sense. It makes sense. They're going to make at least a 10x return, if not more, right? So that's an offer. That's my offer. And so they're getting a lot of value for what I'm delivering. Okay. For the cost of it, the price is nothing in comparison to the actual value that they're going to receive. The next thing that you want to do is make sure you're actually targeting the right people. So there are people who are serious in buying your $40,000-$50,000 bathroom remodeling job. There are people who are interested in buying your $10,000, $20,000 marketing package. You just have to find the people that are willing to do that, right? And so you do this by qualifying very, very heavy in the front who you're going to work with and who you're not, right? So this is why in my forms, like in even just with my agency, when somebody fills out my form on Facebook, they get vetted out with a list of questions, and if they don't meet the criteria of someone that I would work with, then I will not even take a conversation with them. So I don't even waste my time. Okay? I used to do it the other way. I used to personally, I would just get phone and email, and I was like, oh, I can just get a bunch of leads, and my cost per lead is low and everything's great. Well, here's the deal. If your cost per lead's low, that means you're taking anybody and everybody. I don't care about cost per lead. I care about what's the quality of the lead look like. Yeah, I can book fucking appointments for $50 all day. That's not an issue. But if you're driving around taking inspections all day, estimates all day, with poor people, you're just wasting your time. And so that's the next thing is actually qualifying people on the front end, making sure they actually have the budget for it. They're ready to get started, right? They tell you about their project. They tell you about what they need help with. You can see it. I set a character limit of how much people have to say before they can submit the form. So I have a question that's like, tell me your biggest struggle with marketing, and I'll make sure that the character limit is 40 characters, meaning they have to type in 40 characters or at least 2 sentences to let me know what they need help with, or I'm not even going to take them on the call. You make them jump through more hoops. Yeah, a bunch of leads is cool, but you know what's cooler? A few very qualified leads who are going to buy your service. And then finally, the last thing that you can do to ensure that you're taking on more qualified clients is simply kicking people out of your sales conversations or leaving the sales conversations, right? This is why I pre-qualify very hard up front, so I don't have to kick people out of my sales conversations or end my sales goals. But I have had times where just listening to the way a person talks about their business or about their life, I can tell, look, this person is not going to change. Nothing about my package is going to make this person change the way that they think about the world, their perspective. And that's okay. Some people just have a mindset that the shit just doesn't work out for them, right? And that's just how it's going to be. And my service is not going to change that, right? So one big red flag that I hear a lot is the economy. It's impossible to do this in this economy. Okay. If it's impossible to do this in this economy, then that's a you problem. It is, because there are other people, including my clients, who are doing just fine in this economy. It doesn't matter who sits in that White House. It doesn't matter what the cost of materials are. None of that shit matters. Okay? Because there are people out there that are willing to buy. The problem is you You have been convinced by your prospects that have turned you down that this is a real problem. And so now, instead of just saying, fuck that guy's just broke minded, you adopt the beliefs of the poor prospects. And now you're trying to scale this business, but you have the beliefs of the poor people that you've been trying to service. I've been there. And actually, if you take anything away from this video at all, you should take away this is like, if you're talking to poor people and they're telling you things and you walk away from that sales call and you're like, man, maybe that person's right. You don't have enough conviction and belief in your service. You're not like actually fucking delusional. You have to be like kind of delusional to make it in business. You really do. You have to like really think like, no, this is the only way. And if you let your prospects convince you otherwise, like you're not like put together for this. You're not like cut out for this. But yeah, there's stuff like that. Like just, oh, this isn't gonna work for me, and just tons of excuses. Sometimes depending on how it goes, usually like if the person actually has the money to make it happen and I know they could use the service, I will like stop that person in their tracks and have a conversation that kind of goes along the lines of like, all the excuses you're making are about you, right? Like you have to change the belief. You can't like sell them with that. You have to like you have to help them change the belief. You have to help them see the other side, right? You have to sit on the same side of the table with them and say, hey man, let's look at this man to man. Let's just sit here for a second and get a little vulnerable. Don't you understand that all these problems you were talking about, like, have you ever thought that maybe you're the problem? Obviously, you don't say it like that, right? But you have to have that kind of conversation. Do you see that maybe it's your fault that this is not working? It's not the government's fault. You can't change those things. And that's the ultimate truth behind all this is like, you can't change things that are outside of your control, and there's no point in worrying about them. The only thing you can do is move the ball forward. And so if you're trying to grow your business and you're ready to take like full accountability and you're in a position where like you can actually spend money on advertising, click on the link in the description, look at my website, see what I've done for other people, see if it makes sense for us to work together. If not, you can go check out the rest of the videos on my channel and learn some more free stuff if you don't trust me yet. If you like the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.